Hello and welcome back to 100 Yards of Football, Sports Talk Radio. I'm your producer, Jeremiah Long, and joining me to talk about a draft prospect like none other, Jalin Hyatt from the University of Tennessee. Those Volunteers, they've had an incredible season this year, even hit the number one pinnacle at one point. We want to hear everything that's going on because of this team is really on fire, and it's because of these players. So, one of those players that's pivotal in this system and in this team is Jalin Hyatt. So, without further ado, I'd like to introduce a person who can explain all the ins and outs of why you might be so excited about Jalin Hyatt, and that's our host, Mr. Vincent Turner. How's it going, man?
Hey man, how you doing today? I'm so blessed. We got a couple of days left. It's going to be Christmas this upcoming Sunday. I hope everybody's got all their gifts and everybody's happy throughout the world. God bless.
Absolutely. That's how that's exactly what time it is. It's time to really think about those we love, think about those around us, and to think about ourselves, take care of ourselves, do as much self care as possible. And I hope that all of the players out there, as they're having some downtime during the Christmas season, they are thinking about themselves as much as they're thinking about their friends and family. So just putting that out there, all of our friends and family out there in the 100 yards of football world. Also, don't forget to take care of yourself during this Christmas season. Well, Mr. Vincent Turner, Jalin Hyatt, he's been taking care of business, and we want to know what makes him so special this season.
Well, when you look at the University of Tennessee and you look at it from a wide receiver position, and let me say this, I'm glad that the young man declared for the draft because you had an outstanding season. You did what you had to do this year at the University of Tennessee, and your stock is real hot right now. It's hot as fire as the Ohio players. But at the end of the day, I'm a diehard Tennessee fan. And when I look at this young man and what he did at the receiver position, winning the Belifikoff Award, it's just unbelievable this year. 1,267 yards receiving, 16 touchdowns. He had 5 100-yard games. And he averaged almost 2 touchdowns a game. And he had more touchdowns than 30 FBS schools this year. But what I loved about him and I like about him, not only he wearing the orange to the University of Tennessee, but he brought back that tradition. See, we just got through talking. We was talking before we came on there, me and Jeremiah, about is Tennessee back football-wise? Has just hyper restored the tradition up there on the hill. But when you look at Tennessee, even when they was going 7-4 in the mid-70s under Bill Battle, even when Johnny Majors first took over the job from 77 to 83, they've always had outstanding talent. And it's always been the wide receiver position. Can I say amen, Stanley Morgan? Can I say amen, Anthony Hancock? Can I say amen, Willie Gault? Can I say amen, Clyde Duncan? Can I say amen, Joey Clinkscales? Can I say amen, Tim McGee? In feeling me? Can I say amen, Alvin Harper? Can I say amen, Anthony Morgan? Can I say amen, Thomas Woods? Can I say amen, Terrence Cleveland? See, it's always been that type of talent at the receiver spot in Tennessee football history. And I used to have a nickname, 4x100, the Big Orange, because all of them can run. See, Jalin Hyatt brought some memories back to me this year. You're looking at the skill set of this young man. His vertical jump is an A+. Explosive athlete, A+. The one thing that you want to see in receivers is acceleration, A+. Can run away from coverage. What that means, take off the top, A+. And his hands are soft. I didn't see him drop a lot of passes. Then think about this. And Mr. Hyde wasn't playing football. He might be a track athlete. 10-4 in 100 meters. 21-19 in 200 meters. Like I said, 4.31 40-yard dash. And then most of all, the vertical jump of 34.5. And then think about this. I look at the competition. Now, He had what, 5 touchdowns against Alabama. See, this is how you get big time players. We're talking about Jerry Rice, James Lofton, Randy Moss against the competition. Now, Alabama, I did my research. And let me go back in that game. Mr. Hyatt had over 207 yards receiving, 5 touchdowns. But Brian Branch is on that defensive side of the ball. Malachi Moore is on the defensive side of the ball for Alabama. Will Anderson on the defensive side of the ball. Henry Tutu on the defensive side of the ball. Eli Ricks on the defensive side of the ball of Alabama. And Jordan Battle on the defensive side of the ball for Alabama. Now, Jeremiah, check this out. I went to like 10 NFL mock draft sites. And these players, all of them, I listed first and second round draft picks. First and second round draft picks. And Jalin Hyatt put that smoke on them. Then when you're talking about just everything, I always go about old school. His yards after catch are unbelievable, man. But this is the thing. You know, back in the day, in the 60s and the 70s, when you were catching that long pass, he used to call it the bomb. The bomb. He going back, he's throwing the bomb. Lenny Dawson, Dale LaMonica, Johnny Unitas, Joe Namath. They're throwing the bomb. Roger Staubach. And when I think about that, I think about all those great receivers that used to get deep like Cliff Branch, like Homer Jones, young Randy Moss, young from Rains High School, from my team, the Dallas Cowboys, Bob Hayes. See, Jalin Hyatt has some of that, what I call home run ability. And then he's electrifying. He's got some of that ballerina in him, and Lynn Swan. And also, too, he's an excellent blocker. And then if you want to go back and look at created separation, go to the LSU game and the Alabama game. The only team that came up with a real outstanding defensive scheme to keep him in pocket was the University of Georgia. But when you're looking at this after the combine is over, after all the pre-draft, I want to case scenarios, this young man I expect is going to be maybe a mid-round, first-round draft pick. He is one of the most gifted receivers that came out of the University of Tennessee in a long time. But the thing I like about him, with all what I just said about him here, is that he went from really improving his game from his sophomore year to his junior year. He got to the University of Tennessee at 153 pounds. His sophomore year, he was only 165. He put on 15, 20 pounds. He put in the work, man. And he did it. How God works out is that Cedric Tillman, the other guy on the side, is a highly rated NFL draft prospect. He got hurt. So everything kind of fell in Jalin Hyatt being the next man up. And like I said, let me repeat his stats: 1,267 yards, 16 touchdowns, 5 100-yard games. Alabama game, 6 receptions, 207 yards, 34 yards a catch. His career at the University of Tennessee ended with over 1,700 yards, 19 touchdowns, 108 receptions. And he's electrifying. He's got everything what you want in a receiver, man. The speed, one more time, Homer Jones, Bob Hayes, Randy Moss. Then even the young blood that you remind you of right now that's in the league, Jamison Williams with the Lions, a Deshaun Jackson, a Will Fuller, a guy that can take the top off. But I'm going to tell you why I'm going to pick him over all them gentlemen I just stated. He's a guy that works. His coach, Josh Heupel, said he finally got it and he put the work in. And if there's one knock, everybody said, well, he really haven't played against a team that really gets physical with him. Will he be able to handle the chuck at the line of scrimmage? All I have to say, let's go back to the Alabama game. Brian Branch, Malachi Moore, Will Anderson, Henry Tutu, Eli Ricks, and Jordan Battle. I think that's 6 guys that's right now that's projected. Remember, I went to 10 mock draft sites. And all those gentlemen are rated in the first or second round. And Will Anderson's the third overall pick, locally from Dutchtown High School down there in Henry County, not far from where we at. I'm in Metro Atlanta in Douglasville, and you in Atlanta. So don't tell me about the competition. Don't tell me he didn't play at a Big Five school. Don't tell me he didn't research the University of Tennessee football program. Jalin Hyatt, I want to say thank you for choosing the University of Tennessee, and now you're going to go down to another first-round receiver out of the 4x100, the Big Orange. So my final words, I'm not going to say rocket talk this evening. This morning here on 100 Yards Football, I'm going to say this. I got to school as a freshman in 1978. And this band out of Dayton, Ohio, still is my favorite band all day. And they had a tremendous bass line. See, Jalin Hyatt played in my home state, Tennessee, which only has 6 million people. This young man that's on the screen, Mr. Jeremiah Long, is from Oak Ridge, Tennessee, East Tennessee. I'm Vincent Turner from West Tennessee, the 901. So getting back to that band that had this song, it was said, it's all the way live. Show enough. Lead singer Mark Wood is all the way live. See, Jalin Hyatt this season was all the way live. When you turned on ESPN, when you turned on college football, when you heard, what's his name, Josh Pate, when you heard all them college football pundits, even on the SEC network, they were talking about Jalin Hyatt. He was all the way live. Show enough. Lakeside. Thank you. And I want to give special thanks before it's leading up to next Sunday, Christmas. I want to thank the staff here at 100 Yards of Football. We've been on a tremendous ascension for the last 2 years, and there have been some great people that's made my dreams come true. It's given me a tremendous opportunity. This young man in the front of the screen, Mr. Jeremiah Long, I want to say thank you. We would not be where we at here at 100 Yards Football. To Mr. Bobby Butler, great NFL great, first-round draft pick in 1981 NFL draft. Our newest member, a guy I saw play high school football, never thought that I ever would be doing anything with him, Mr. Wamon Buggs, the greatest athlete that ever came out of the state of Tennessee. I'm sorry. Only player to be first-team All-State baseball, basketball, and football in 1978. Do the back channel work. To Mr. Logan Landers. Can't say much more about him. Him getting up on Wednesday morning, having the ability and really helping me really continue my dream and put me on a platform. And a gentleman that believed in this gentleman believed in me 12 years ago. And we from two separate sectors of the universe. This young man is from Brooklyn, New York. And I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. I don't have a brother. But if God blessed me with one, he would be my brother. He believed in me that when nobody else, along with this young man here. And it's been a long, hard ride for 12 years. And I want to include another gentleman now, a young man that's got a tremendous voice, who right now does commercials for Home Depot, the voice of a lot of things, a lot of teams in the SWAC, Southern University, Alabama State. His name, Mark Bass. We know him as Mark Denham. But getting back to the gentleman, and I don't want to be long-winded today, but this guy is the reason where I'm at. And as I said, we're from two faces of the earth. One guy from Brooklyn, New York, another guy from a little town in Memphis, Tennessee. And what we have done with the outstanding guys that I just mentioned, it's just been unbelievable. It's going to have to be a movie about this. I'm sorry. And we're going to set the bar in 2023. I promise you that. Let's think about it on the Facebook page. And this gentleman right here will become a national known identity. And I'm so blessed and I'm so happy that I'm part of this team. And the gentleman, Mr. Ronnie Keebler, for believing in me. It's a lot of times when you have a dream, it's not easy. And you be at the bottom of the barrel. But there's that one person that gives you that self-confidence. And he does it in a way that he's not really blasting you, but hey man, I believe in you. You just got to believe in yourself and take a look at yourself in the mirror. And one thing about my brother Ronnie Keebler, he always says this. How you going to arise if you really, his famous saying, do you really love this? Then you're going to put the time in. And the time is when everybody is sleeping and everybody is complaining and when everybody is going through their own personal problems. But if you love what you do, God gonna make a way. And to the people that supported us over the last 2 years, I want to say thank you. And of course, to my family, I'll be home in Memphis, Tennessee next week. I'll be broadcasting live. This gentleman will be in Oak Ridge, Tennessee. We'll be here on StreamYard. It's an honor for my parents, Chester and Inez Turner. They still living at 85 and 83, and I'm so blessed. And to my uncle, Opie Turner, that played a big part in my life. And of course, my sisters, Bridget in New Orleans, Rhonda in Nashville, and Stephanie in Memphis. And all I can say is I'm thankful. And during this Christmas season, if you have any relatives that you're close to, please reach out and give them a hug and say thank you. I love you. And to this young man right here, boy, it's been a great ride. And I never forget when I first met him. We was in a situation and he came up beside me. Hey, man, if you want to continue this, here's my number. At that time, this talented gentleman right here, I never thought that he'd have me at a level that right now, talking football, the NFL draft, and believe me, we coming. 100 yards football. Thank you. Back to my man, Mr. Jeremiah Daniel Long.
And I will tell you, thank you so much for that. And thank you so much, for telling all of the reasons that you work so hard day in and day out for 100 yards of football. And I swear to you on this, if you keep on doing the same work that you do on this level, you are going to go even further than you have so far. And I'll do everything that I can to help, along with the rest of our great team. And for everybody watching and listening to this incredible breakdown of Jalin Hyatt and of our amazing show, 100 Yards of Football, as we round out the year of 2022, we just want to say thank you. Thank you so much for joining us day in and day out as we bring you 100 Yards of Football, incredible interviews with classic players, with games that are coming up, with all of the coverage of the teams, with all of the amazing people who have been in and out of football. We just want to say thank you. And thank you to our entire team, including you, Mr. Vincent Turner, including Bobby Butler, including everyone who's made the show happen, including Mr. Ronnie Keebler, and all of the great sports broadcasters, including Mr. Logan Landers, who's been with us for so very long. So thank you, everyone who's ever been on the show, and we got more to come. So without further ado, this has been 100 Yards of Football, Sports Talk Radio. This has been our draft prospect for Jalin Hyatt. I am your producer, Jeremiah Long, and you've been listening to it for this insightful recap with Mr. Vincent Turner. So we will be back with another live episode